1, 2, 3. Audible? Perfect. I can see I've put on weight. You live? All right. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who are attending from India, 1 second. I think some echo is there. Just 1 minute. Are you fine, team? Good. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and namaste for all the people who are joining from India, and good morning to all the people who are joining from US, and good afternoon to those who are joining from UK. So yeah, so I would say thank you all for coming to this ROTC. So let's get started, right? So firstly, I'll give a little brief introduction about myself, because I believe a lot of you are first prospects and first time leads in our ecosystem. So I'll give a little brief about who I am and what we are trying to do at ASBL, right? So I am Ajitesh Korupolu and I'm the CEO of ASBL. I did my undergrad in economics with a minor in mathematics before I started my professional career. I started working in 2013 in my dad's company, Ashoka Builders. Just 1 second. Ashoka Builders, and then after doing the first project under their brand, in 2017, me and my partner Anil set up ASBL, and team silent. Yeah. And ever since 2017, we have been doing business, and we are a asset focused company. So under ASBL brand, we predominantly focus in the housing segment, right? We build apartments. So before starting ASBL, when I worked under my dad's company and when I did my research before starting the business, I realized that it's very important in real estate to be asset focused. Multi-asset class generally doesn't tend to work. So that was one key USP of ASBL, that we are very asset focused. We are only in apartment building, right? So that is little bit about what we do here. And again, from the word go, ASBL, we from the day it was incepted, right, we were a technology first company. So the idea was like, what can technology really do in this field? How can we bring about optimizations in engineering, right, so that we will be able to do a world-class delivery with world-class quality? And next, how can technology play a role in great customer service, right? These were the two I would say pivotal or most important questions what we wanted to solve for. And we have done a lot of R&D. We have invested extensively in our R&D, right? And we have close to 100-member tech team now, supporting our operations and supporting our operations. Just 1 second. Perfect. So so let me get into the 1 second. I think there's some issue with the audio system here. Great. Yeah. So let's delve into. Guys, this thing is not working. Sorry, I think there's a little problem with my prompter. Yes. Yeah. So so in a nutshell, the three most important things, I would say the three broad things what we're doing at ASBL, is research-led design, and then tech and construction, and we are operating close to 5.5 million square feet. So right after the pandemic, right, so once we realized that delivery is something which we got in order, and it's something which is stable and we're able to control, then we moved to something called intentional design. So we took inspiration from electronic manufacturers, something like your mobile phone manufacturers or your laptop manufacturers, where we realized that there's a lot of requirement which is collected from the users, and the requirement goes through a proper proper vetting system, and then the product is made. So it's consumers who are driving the entire product, where when we realized in real estate that that was not something which was happening to the tune it should be happening. And unlike a laptop or a mobile phone where you can use it for like a maximum of 3 to 5 years, house is something which we use, I mean, once we build it, it'll be in use for almost 70 years. So then then it means it's ever more important to get it right, because there are not many, there's not much room to change once it's built, right? So then that's when we came up with our website called udesign, asbl.udesign.in, where we have been conducting extensive surveys from our customers and prospective customers, and collecting all of that feedback and trying to take that design the buildings in accordance with that feedback. And I'll be sharing some of the insights what we have taken, and how we have put it in practice in Loft. And then again, I have mentioned earlier, like one of our key USPs is how we use technology in construction and bring about optimizations and efficiency. So we are the only company in India who is using a full-fledged a digital twin, a virtual twin, in its construction operations. So, on a daily basis, or I would say on an hourly basis, I would say hundreds and thousands of data points are constantly logged by our workforce, which gets fed into the virtual twin, and then it has a much better understanding of what's happening at site, and it is intelligent enough to guide us in what is the direction we should be taking, even on a day-to-day manner. That's the level of intelligence in our ecosystem. And next, at a company level, we are close to operating 5.5 million square feet, right? We are predominantly operating in 2 micro markets in Hyderabad. One is the west side, where we are operating in Pupalgoda and Kokapet. And then on the east side, we are operating in a neighborhood called Pocharam, which is a suburb of Uppal. So these are 2 micro markets where we are currently operating on. And we have projects across various stages. So we are doing one project, ASBL Spire, which we are doing handover. Almost 80% of handovers are completed. And then we are doing ASBL Springs on the east side of Hyderabad, which will be handed over this year, end of this year. Then we have Spectra next year and Loft the year after. So now every year now we have close to, for this last year and this year we have close to 500 handovers a year, and then from next year we have close to 1,000 handovers a year. So that's how we are going forward, right? So before I go to the next slide, the next slide is I'll show you a little brief about what we are doing with all the 3 projects. It's a small, I would say, a 2.5 minute video where it will give you a nutshell of what's happening all across our across the 3 projects: ASBL Spire, ASBL Springs, and ASBL Spectra. And Loft, I'll be showing what's happening with Loft on site, probably towards the end of this discussion. So this is a small AV. It will take around 2.5 minutes. I'll just head out of the screen. So that's a little bit of about all the projects which are under operations apart from Loft. As you can see, they're at various stages of progress. Spire is almost majorly handovers are completed. Springs is going to handover, and Spectra we have handover next year. So now let me head into the project under discussion, ASBL Loft. So Loft is our latest offering, right? We started we started sales and we started production at site September last year, and we have done the markets markets have also been good, and we got very good reception from our customers. So we did a considerable amount of sales, and then it's pacing towards handing over on time. So little bit about Loft. So it's an exclusive 3 BHK apartments in the center of financial district. So it's currently it's one of the closest project to the Wipro Circle, and it's G+45, just 2 towers, and it's an exclusive 3 BHK community. Right, so that's a little brief about Loft. So another interesting data point I would like to cite with regarding to Loft. So 40% of our customers in Loft have been NRIs. So NRIs have greatly blessed us in this project, and they have given a very stupendous response on this. So that was one of the reason why I wanted to do this a live webinar and speak to you guys one-on-one and understand your feedback, where is it that we can get better, and all sort of feedback, so that we can continuously improve and serve you better. So that was the key data point in Loft. So 40% of the customers in Loft currently are NRIs, predominantly from US, Singapore, like these are the 2 main geographies, and then followed by UK and Australia. So that's about Loft. And then see the 3 key aspects of Loft. First and foremost, they say in real estate, right, the 3 important things in real estate is location, location, and location. So Loft is located right in the middle of financial district, the top micro market and entire Hyderabad real estate landscape. So it is very conveniently located for all the major IT offices, all the major schools, social infra hubs, right? Like now there are a lot of F&B places, many restaurants, clubs which are coming up in this area, and there are a lot of convention centers. Just like 200 meters away from Loft, there's a 5-star hotel coming up, which will be operated by Hilton, right? So there's a lot of things happening in that neighborhood. I believe there are, I think, 4 or 5 screens also coming up just 100 meters from Loft. So there's several activities happening in that area. It's buzzing with a lot of real estate activity. So the location is something which is of extraordinary importance, and Loft is something which is right in the epicenter of the most important location. And again, not to forget, there are a lot of schools within the neighborhood, right? The next important aspect is the best-in-class luxury. So I mentioned earlier, right? So how we have used data from our UDesign platform, and how we have implemented that, the data and the research and the feedback which our consumers have given into the design. So one of the key, when we conducted research, when we asked people what is a mark of luxury in their apartment, and 42% of them have said that the floor to ceiling height is something which is a mark of luxury. That was one of the biggest and one of the significantly polled one. And then approximately 45% people have said that a larger living room is something which is very much desired, and again a mark of luxury. So we have taken both of these feedback and designed Loft in accordance with that. So if you look at Loft, we are giving the biggest living room in the entire product category. In the sub 2000 category product line, Loft has the biggest living room. It's approximately 16 feet by 12 feet. And then we are giving again the highest, one of the highest floor to ceiling height. Again in this category, it's close to 10.5 feet. So this is again, this is what our customers have said, and this is how we are implementing. So so I would say thank you so much for the feedback. And then, as you can see, I'll just move out of the screen when there are renders. So these are some of the renders of the a floor plan, right? The internal apartment, and you can even see the open layout of this, right? So right from your living room, again you can easily look into the big outdoor living area, something which was a key design USP across all of our projects in the West Zone. Consumers have given great feedback regarding the outdoor living, what we have been providing in Spire, Spectra, and now in Loft. and that's the height of the tree what you can grow. Because of the approximately 2 feet planted depth, you can grow a tree approximately to the height of anywhere from 4 to 6.5 feet. So you really get a feeling that you're closer to the nature, right? Though you're still you're almost maybe 120 meters above the ground. And then this is a west plan, so even you can see the kitchen is sort of a mini open kitchen. And then so this has been a key USP, right? So the very open sort of a floor plan. So these are some of the renders of the various possibilities of how you can get your unit, your apartment design. So this talks about the entire breadth of the living room, what I was mentioning earlier. It's approximately 16 by 12 feet. And the floor to ceiling height in loft is approximately 10 feet 5 inches. Right? And the next important aspect in So, and the next important aspect when we spoke to our consumers was, in this day and age, people wanted, everything within reach. So we came up with this concept of practical luxury, what we call, and then we posed a challenge to our product designers that was everything, of daily utility should be within a reach of 100 steps. Can you design facilities, your daily utility facilities, where consumers can reach out within 100 steps? So that they really save up on the time. The idea is not to make them walk less. The idea is to save up on time so that they can use that time judiciously and cautiously on various other activities, whatever is important to them. So then we came up with this idea of practical luxury, where we identified that in the daily utility segment, supermarket is something which is of very importance. So we place the supermarket right underneath the tower on the podium level, so that anybody from both tower A and tower B can easily reach it, right, and just pick up the groceries on the go. And we are even in talks with some of the bigger chains in the city to operate the facility. And next is your entire bank, ATM and locker facility. So again, when we did research, ATMs is something which is slowly dying off because of the UPI system. So, but something which was very, very important was the entire bank lockers. When we spoke to customers, especially our women customers, they mentioned that a locker facility would be of great value to store gold or any such precious items. So we have tied up with ICICI Bank, and they would be operating the branch here and with the locker facility. So again, that also is right on the podium level, so people can reach it very quickly. Again, the idea is to reach there in 100 steps. And then Loft again comes with its own exclusive salon and spa, which would be operated by Bubbles, right? So that we are giving. And then again, something which we took feedback from which our customers were mentioning is the medical office or the clinic space in a community. So here we have again provided a good space in the clubhouse. And we are in talks with some of the major hospital chains in the city, and in fact I believe a couple of our customers also who are doctors. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the couple is from UK. They have also reached out. They're planning to shift to India, and they have been doctors for more than 10 years, practicing doctors. So we are talking with various such service providers to provide service in the clinic. And which probably in the further ROTCs I'll be able to come up with a much more clear information on what are the sort of what sort of doctors would be there, which fields of expertise would be provided and all. But yeah, there would be doctors who would be working on a sort of appointment based system, and the facility is provided in the clubhouse. So these four was something which the consumers gave us a lot of feedback on, because this can greatly reduce their time in their day-to-day lives, right? So the idea of practical luxury was something which is very important, and Loft is the first project in Hyderabad which has a promenade level amenities, right? So what we did in Loft, so we removed the entire units in the ground and first floor, and then we came up with all the sort of facilities or amenities which people need to use on a day in, day out. And then again, through research we found out that there is the usage of an amenity or a usage of a space almost goes up 3x if it is there on the podium level because of the convenience. So we have taken all of this into design, and that's how it has been envisioned, right? So these are some of the renders of the spaces. So this is a salon space. what we are providing in the clubhouse. Again, it has a separate men's section and a women's section with dedicated massage rooms. These are some of the guest rooms what we are providing in the clubhouse. So these are much better than most of the hotels in the area, and very much, I would say, would even beat out a 5-star hotel in the neighborhood. This is the multi-purpose hall or the party hall, right? Again, it can accommodate close to 250 people at a time, 250 to 300 people at a time, and it even has an outdoor spillover area, and it comes with its green room and pantry room. And the next important thing, so when we conducted research, the another important thing what our customers have mentioned is the entire thing around work from home. Post pandemic, we are seeing that the entire world is shifting towards some format of hybrid work. And when we did a survey amongst our customers, 87% have mentioned that they are doing work from home either fully or 2 days a week or something like that. So they are exposed. So on a weekly manner, almost 87% of our customers are exposed to hybrid work. So we wanted to come up with what sort of solution can we provide around this, right? So these days we are seeing people working out of their bedrooms or their dining tables. So of course, we studied what are the disadvantages of that. There are some great advantages in working out of office, and there are some disadvantages working out of a room, out of your own home, right? So we studied all that research, and we realized that it's very, very important. What people have told us that one of the biggest advantage in working out of an office is that you get to meet your colleagues. So you don't get socially isolated. You don't feel the isolation. So you have people around, and you just go out for a smoke break or just a lunch break or something. So you're constantly engaging with people, and multiple ideas get discussed. So we wanted to retain this aspect of office space and bring in the convenience of work from home, where you don't really need to travel, right? So traveling to office is one of the biggest impediment in going to office and working. So the idea was, then we came up with, the conclusion of this was we came up with a 5,000 square feet of co-working space, again, right on the podium level. So it's again easy for people to access. And this facility comes with its dedicated, I would say lounge type seatings and, workstations, Zoom booths, and even meeting rooms, where using the, our in-house app, people can book any of the particular facility that they would be, wanting to use that day. Right. So this again is something which we felt was very much needed, and something which would be really used by our customers, and would solve the the work from home challenges. So that was something very important, and the consumers' feedback has been greatly appreciated in this line. So I'll just share some of the renders of the space. So we took inspiration, even in the design, if you see, we took inspiration from a lot of the well done co-working spaces, where we could accommodate multi-style of working. If you look at the co-working spaces, you have a collaborative style of work, right? Then you have your sort of a meeting rooms and all, where you will be probably taking your Zoom, attending a conference virtually or things like that, right? And there are even dedicated workstations where people can book and use it. Then the next important research feedback which people have given us has got to do with entire thing around childcare and children well-being, right? So that's something again very important. And as a young parent myself, this is something which I relate maximum with. So I have one 4-year-old kid and one 1.5-year-old kid. So I relate to this issue a lot more currently. So everything around childcare and child well-being is something again what we have asked our customers. So when we did the survey around creches and children play areas, so this is what they had to say. So 40% of them said that a well-integrated indoor and outdoor spaces was something very, very important from the standpoint of a creche design. So that made us to think that, okay, then if it's creches, should not be in the first floor or second floor, because typically when we spoke with child psychologists at design time, they mentioned that in this age group, right, we are talking approximately for a 3-year-old kid, right, they typically tend to run in and out. So if it's in a first or a second floor, if it's any other floor apart from the ground floor, it poses an element of safety challenge, and most likely the child will not be able to do that. So again, in Loft, the 5,000 square feet of crash space we have provided it on the ground floor, abutting the entire kids play area, so that the kid can just run out and he can seamlessly move from indoor and outdoor spaces, right? And then we are working with child care service providers to make sure that they provide service round the clock. In fact, I would want to hear feedback from you guys as well. I'll ask the team to post a poll maybe in a week or two. We are in talks with one Montessori school group from Bangalore. They operate predominantly in Bangalore, but they are into the Montessori style of schools. So do let me know if this style of schooling, right, the Montessori style, is something which you guys are interested in and things like that, because when I did my research on Montessori, it seemed very interesting, the entire style of education and all. So I will be even sharing the profile of the school people probably in a few weeks time before. So yeah, please feel free to share that information, or you can even mail it to ceo@asbl.in. So that is my mail ID, and I would be reading the mails, all your feedback there. Though I might not be able to reply to all of them, but we would be definitely taking in the feedback you'll be sharing, whatever is possible. But yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts on the Montessori style of education, right? And so together with the creche and the outdoor space, we are giving a total of 22,000 square feet of space for kids to run around and play around. That's by far one of the biggest in most of the projects, right? In which 5,500 square feet is a creche, and abutting approximately 17,000 square feet is outdoors play spaces, and they will come with their own EPDMS flooring and all that, the soft flooring, so that even if the kid falls down, they do not get any hurt. So it will be taken care from a child safety standpoint. And again, we are working with various consultants in this line to better design these spaces also, because we realize that we have to design spaces from a 3-year-old kid to a probably 7-year-old kid, and then we need 7 to probably 10 or 12. So in each different age group, kids are engaged differently, right? So we are still a good amount of research is being done in this area. So just to reiterate the 4 important aspects of Loft, just to reiterate before I move on, the most important one was location, that was the most important thing for our consumers. Then the entire concept of practical luxury, so that one can really live a seamless life, right? So the entire concept of ease of living was brought into picture, using the practical luxury concept. Then the entire concept around work from home and how we provide service, facilities around work from home, so that it can really benefit our customers. It can make their entire work life sort of situation much easier. And then the entire thing around child care and child well-being, that also we are conducting research, and some of it has already been implemented in Loft, right? So see, as a brand, we cherish these things, and this is our way going forward, right? So this is how we want to grow, conduct research, because I feel we are more like a hardware company, right? Just like any hardware company manufactures a laptop or a mobile phone, we are a hardware company who manufactures space, right? So we need to do thorough research and try to come up with solutions. So that's what is something which is very important, and as a brand we want to continue doing that. So these are again some of the renders of the creche and all. I'll just head out of the screen. So this is a creche, and you can even see the entire color palettes and all of that, right, has been done in such a way that it's child friendly. Again, some of these designs will see some more development as we go on, but pretty much this is something like a 80-90% version, right? And we are giving another close to 2,000 odd square feet of space for elder children. The creche is essentially for kids in the range of 3 to, or I would say from 2 years or 1.5 years to 3 to 4 years. Whereas this space is what we have realized is it's more like a tuition and a project space, because there'll be a lot of kids in this area and pretty much in this project, and pretty much most of them would be going to 5 or 6 odd schools, right? So then we realized that there'll be a lot of kids from the same school and probably from the same class. So the idea was, why don't we give again collaborative spaces for them where they can do their projects together, or when they can maybe have a joint tuition session. Again, this was something which a lot of the mothers gave feedback on. So again, this space is exclusively for I would say the slightly older kids, or probably I would say primary age group kids. So from maybe 5 to 10 years or 12 years sort of thing. It even comes with classrooms. I believe we have not put that render here, like 2 classroom setups also we have taken. And the next and last important thing was the entire aspect of fitness. Again, fitness is not is something which is not is something which every developer and every project people have been giving, but the entire thought aspect has not been from the aspect of how do we make sure people use the facility and actually end up being fit. It's not just about giving a gym or giving some sports facility, but how do we make sure people use it on a much more frequent basis. So fitness is, again, even the tagline, fit community is a hit community. So this, again, the insight, what the question was, when we asked our customers, like, why is it that you drop off on your fitness goals, right, and your fitness journeys? So the most polled answer was boredom, and lack of space hinders one's plan to regularly work out, right? So because we realized that once somebody subscribes to a fitness regime, most often in 3 to 4 weeks they drop out of it. So the entire aspect of boredom was the biggest problem. So we wanted to go after it. So rather than giving one big gym, we realized that of lately there's a big trend which is rising around group workouts, and group workouts are more fun and it has a much better participation ratio than people working on their own. So if you look at most of the gyms, there's a big sort of a big strength training studio, and then probably some cardio studio. But at Loft, we are planning to take a very different approach, where we break down the big gym into multiple studios, so that like a calisthenics studio, and a cardio studio, and a fitness studio, a yoga and Zumba, and probably as the development evolves, trying to figure out various formats of workout, so that the idea is consumer doesn't get bored. So at every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they can continuously rotate their workout style, and so that there's a better so that the dropout rates come down. And then it even comes with a full-fledged sports facilities as well. We have 3 indoor badminton courts with air conditioning, right? So that's again the best in class when it comes to the entire ratio of it, right? And then we have 1 squash court and 1 multi-purpose court where people can play football or box cricket on the rooftop of the clubhouse. And then we have 1 basketball court. So so it comes with a full package of indoor workouts and your sports facilities. So these we believe would probably spice up when it comes to one's workout routine. And again, all of these spaces can be booked and used via our app, so that it can easily one can easily collaborate with their workout or sports buddies, and they can plan their routine so that they don't have to wait in line or anything like that. So the app would also be there, through which they can book these spaces and use them seamlessly. So this is the clubhouse elevation and renders. I'll just head out of the frame. So I would personally like to call it the theater, because it sort of resembles that. But if you look at the elevation also, right, again, very neat finish, very, I would say, not too many elements, but as a very bold characteristic. If you look in the first floor, it has a very big swimming pool, and it comes with a double height swimming. The roof, it's a double height with a starlit ceiling, so one can have a great experience there. And that comes with a very large living room on the ground floor of the clubhouse. These are the 3 indoor badminton courts, which are air conditioned, right? And again, they would be done to the standard of the top Olympic standard badminton courts, and we'll be going on with Ibaco based flooring. Ibaco does all the stadiums in India, all the badminton stadiums in India the flooring is done by Ibaco, so which is the highest standard when it comes to the sport. So this is the entire pool area with the double height starlit ceiling. So this is pretty much from my side. I wanted to keep this my side of the presentation fairly minimal and treat this and hear a lot more from you guys. So I wanted to have a more Q&A session in this. So yeah, before we head into the Q&A session, this is a small I would say the entire video of Loft. So as you can see, work is happening at site on a very brisk pace. So we are almost 60% of the basement work for both the towers is done, and probably by mid of April we should be done with all the basement works of both the towers, and then starting the entire floor level works, that is the Maiwan casting works. So as of now we are very much I would say slightly ahead of schedule. But yeah, so that's the handover of Loft on December 26. Our target is to deliver at least a quarter or two ahead of time. But yeah, so that's where the site is, right? So before we head on into the Q&A session, so those of you who have questions to ask can raise up your hand, and our team will probably allow you to speak, so you can verbally ask. So before we head into that, just give me a couple of minutes. Yeah, so one other thing which I missed out. So I just want to, our team is coming to the US on 16th and 17th March. they will be at Santa Clara, and from 22nd to 25th of March we'll be in New Jersey. So we'll be very happy to meet you in person and exchange ideas and or probably sort of answer whatever queries you have, right? So looking forward to seeing you there. And looking at the entire demand and reception what we got from the entire NRI base, so we have dedicated two managers to serve our NRI clients. So Shivani is our business development manager who's working exclusively to address you guys, and Rahul is our manager who's working to again exclusively serve you guys. And Rahul and a couple of other teammates as well, they will starting from today they will be working on the US hours. So you can call them in your for those of you who are in the US and in UK, like west of India. So you can reach out to them in your working hours. So it's a dedicated help desk and a support desk. So they'll be there to serve you at any point of time, right? So I'll just take 30 seconds on this slide. You can even scan the QR and it will directly open the WhatsApp. So before we head into the Q&A, I'm really looking forward for your comment. What is it that you liked in us? So yeah, guys, we are live. So anybody who want to ask a question can raise your hand, and the team will allow you to, and will to speak up, to speak. Yeah. Team, is anybody asking a question? Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Andy. So regarding within the flat, we would, I'll just take out my mic and speak so it's easier for me. So regarding within the flat, we will not be furnishing, right, because it's each to their own interior style. A flat typically comes with its flooring, doors and windows and all of that. So the appliances and lights and I would say the electronic and all of these sort of thing would be something which the consumer would be doing as per their taste. But definitely for in case you want to lease out your flat, we do suggest a few interior vendors who will be doing who will be giving a fit out solution. But there we are just playing the role of a facilitator. Thank you. Sorry, got it. If you're coming in December 2025, you can definitely come to the site and we would be doing a mock floor, right? Maybe it might not be possible to go to your exact flat, but probably the third floor or second floor we'll be doing an entire floor level mock, right? So you can come in and see your unit configuration there, just that it might be at a different floor, that's all. Yeah, that part you can definitely come to the site in 2025, because by 2025 December mostly the towers would be totally built out. RCC part, the finishes would be going on. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir, yes. Hi, Vishal. Correct. Yes, sir. So basically now, essentially those are called indoor play areas, indoor play zones, right? So the first version of that we are building out in Spire Clubhouse, which is going for handover currently. So we want to study the data there and give a similar facility here. In fact, the designs for this project are also almost done from a indoor play zone perspective. But we really want to study the last mile data also, because my understanding when we went to the malls and did a early stage research, it is something which is hugely engaging the kids, and I feel looking at that data, it will be a super hit facility. So 90%, yes, customers can expect the same facility here at a bigger scale, unless data provides some other direction. But yeah, as of now, yes, 90% we are going ahead with that facility, and it will be bigger than the one in Spire. Yes. Yeah. So what I'll do is, once the entire clubhouse part is handed over, I'll get a proper video shoot done and post it to all you guys. so that you can also see how it has come out, and and then maybe 3 or 6 months into it, I'll even post the data what we collect around it, and then maybe by the time maybe a year down ROTC, we can discuss that little more in detail. What is your opinion, sir? Like what do you think? Mm-hmm. 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 Correct. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah. So 90%, I mean, design and everything is done. We will be doing it. It's just that we have to wait and see the data. Mm-hmm. Correct. Mm-hmm. 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 No, very good idea, sir. So, what we have seen in the previous communities like Lakeside and Liviano, which are already handed over, these folks who are that Big Basket and Zepto, these people are coming and setting up those automated coin-based kiosks. So yeah, we are making special provision for that, and we'll tie up with one of them. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it would be helpful if if you guys can even say from which part of the world you are, so that it will be good to know. Okay, great. Virginia, great, Andy, great. Yes, ma'am, please go on. Mm-hmm. 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 So, ma'am, firstly, regarding rentals, right? So it's going very strong. Like something you referred, like the project you referred, My Home Bhuja is almost 90% leased out currently, right? So that's leases is something which is very strongly happening in that area because of again proximity of the entire IT spaces and the schools. So essentially, when you lease out, right, tenants look for two things. One is the aspect of traveling to work, how close are they staying to work, and second is how close are they staying to the kids' schools. So this area has a lot of offices and schools from that aspect, right? And if you look, even the rentals in this area are really soaring. Approximately a 3-bedroom in a gated community. In a neighborhood building might be lesser, but in a gated community, that rents are trending around 60 to 75K, depending on the project and a particular location, right? And one can expect upon handover, one can expect in a once you do the fit outs, in a matter of 3 months, places can be leased out in this micro market. Right, so this micro market continues to be the number one micro market in the Hyderabad, again because of the commercial spaces which are already built and leased. I'm not considering the newer ones. Of course, there's a lot of newer spaces which are being built, and there's a lot of social infra which is being developed in this area, like movie screens, restaurants, clubs and all. And then there are your entire schools and hospitals and these facilities. So at least from a from an investment and from an end user perspective, it's like you're staying in a downtown. So the consumption of real estate in downtown is pretty stable. If let's say somebody is investing in a suburban space, then in an upward market it moves up, and in a downward market it falls down much harder. But in city center markets, it's fairly stable, and there's a constant demand for both from a buying perspective and from a leasing perspective. Hopefully I answered your question, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So traffic, I'll tell you, see, the ultimate solution is walkability, neighborhood scale walkability, for which the entire at a city level, I don't think our governments or our planning bodies are ready, and I don't think they're doing, they still need to do a lot more in that direction. We can take a lot of inspiration from the European cities like Denmark and Netherlands and all these places. Amsterdam is a wonderful city. I mean, it's greatly walkable, right? So there will be traffic issues, not that it won't be. But one thing I can say is, at least the roads abutting, Project Loft is a 100-feet road, and there's a flyover also which is being built across the ORR, which will get connected to the road in front. So that way it's very well connected, and again it's easy to get onto the ORR and all. So that way it should be helpful. And I do assume that given that it's so close to offices, I would recommend people walk, but I wouldn't blame them if they don't walk, because the footpaths are not really big here. And that's one reason why we had to, if you look at the amenities what we are giving also, the idea is, okay, instead of taking out the car, you can just go down to the podium and probably solve 50% of your needs. So that's the idea. But yeah, traffic is a more city scale problem, and I feel we need to be tackling that from a walkability perspective, because one of the bad way to solve for traffic is build bigger roads. The bigger the road you build, the more the traffic which comes. So I'm a big proponent believer of walkability, and especially European cities, and they have led the way globally in that direction. Did I answer your question, ma'am? Thank you. Thank you. You're from which city in Denmark, ma'am? Copenhagen. Okay, I've been there. Yeah. Hello. Hello, Andy. Yeah. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, sir, firstly, thank you for all the kind words. We take a lot of inspiration from the mobile manufacturers, like, you can see Apple, Xiaomi and these guys. So, the way they present, the amount of research they do before presenting a product. And I think it's high time that our sector and our category also starts doing it, because one, it's the costliest purchase on a consumer's wallet, and second, we need to aggressively win our consumers' trust, right? So we feel these are very important for us. So thank you for your feedback. So regarding the water management and waste management, so for water management, see sir, all of these sites, it comes with around 4 to 5 boreholes. So we do tap into the underground water, and then next we even build big tanks in the basement which will store rainwater to some extent. Again, it cannot store all the water because it will be too big. So that we do, and then we do even rainwater harvesting so that some element of water can some water can seep in. So all of this contribute to a certain level of solution, and so this is what we as a builder can do. And next, as from a government standpoint, at least in Hyderabad, I think in the previous government, the Krishna phase 3 or phase 4 project, what they did, this part of the city is well connected with that water, and there is no water problem per se as much, right? There's almost piped water for almost all the projects, and we do liaise with the government at the time of handover to probably take a push up on the extent of water we can draw down from that, like the thickness of the pipe and things like that. So regarding water management, it's a host of solutions. There's no one particular, I would say, one size fits all approach doesn't work. So we have to work with rainwater harvesting, tap into the underground water, and then sort of use this government the piped water. And yeah, another thing is this, not only us, almost all the gated communities do it, the recycling system, right? So all the water which the waste water is recycled and treated and used for all the plantation plantation and landscaping purposes. So good amount of water is even reused that way. And regarding the waste management, sir, we are giving garbage chutes with a dedicated wet waste column and a dry waste column. So, and the consumer has to educate their housekeepers and maids to just segregate the waste in such a manner and dump it so that it can be it will just make the whole process more environmentally friendly. Because if you look at from the standpoint of waste management, right, the biggest problem is segregation of the waste. So that's from our perspective, we are giving the facility a dedicated dry waste and a wet waste garbage chutes. It's just that now the segregation, the consumer has to be a little more he has to spread the awareness. And yeah, thank you. But I feel, sir, that's a good question, because water management, we also are planning to work with, there's a very wonderful person in that, Miss Kalpana Anjepi. She is an architect and she's won several awards from the state government and central government for her water restoration works. So we are trying to set up workshops with her also to explore what more can be done. Thank you. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. No, all these facilities are being provided in Spectra, sir. In fact, in the last ROTC a month back, I presented the entire designs also of these spaces, and you can find that entire content on our YouTube channel. So if you look at the last ROTC, I've covered all the entire design concept, the renders, the look and feel, everything. And through you, I would even recommend everybody to please follow our YouTube channel. We post a lot of content there, continuously, the design upgrades and various construction upgrades, design upgrades, and several activities what we as a brand are doing. So you all can be up to date with what's happening with your home. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You're from which place, sir? Philadelphia. Okay. Okay, great. అవునా, యాక్చువల్లీ తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు. గ్రేట్ అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. చెప్పండి సార్, చెప్పండి. సురేష్ గారు కొద్దిగా కెన్ యూ స్పీకప్ అండి, యువర్ వాయిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ సాఫ్ట్. ఇప్పుడు బెటర్ అండి. అవునండి, అవును, పెసిఫికా. Sir, so regarding that service road, we are sort of, mana role in lo takva, sir, and though we have expressed our opinion to the nearby landowners and we're trying to push them that please let's connect it ani. But and Pacifica వాళ్ళు కూడా సేమ్ అదే లైన్లో ఉన్నారు. But the problem is, in between this 100 feet road and the service road, the land belongs to some other landowners, and finally they have to give up their land. So we have to keep fingers crossed and see what happens. If mostly I think once the habitation happens and the traffic goes up, government also might persuade them to give that part of land. ఇక్కడ ఏమైపోతుందంటే ద ల్యాండ్ కాస్ట్ చాలా ఎక్కువైపోయింది కదండి. సో ఎనీబడి టు ప్రాబ్లీ ఫోర్గో లైక్ హాఫ్ acre or an acre of land for it will be very difficult. బట్ సో ఫ్రమ్ మా సైడ్ నుంచి అయితే మేము ఒపీనియన్ అయితే క్లియర్గా వి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్డ్ ఇట్ అండ్ వీఆర్ హోప్ఫుల్లీ. నా టేక్ ఏంటంటే ఒకటి హ్యాబిటేషన్ అయిపోతే జనరలీ గవర్నమెంట్స్ ఓన్లీ మార్కెట్ డూ అ రీడిజైన్ ఆఫ్ ద రోడ్ అండ్ దే put it in the RDP, road development plan lo pettestaru. In case that doesn't happen, the advantage which Loft will have is like a dead end. A dead end endante more making it's more calmer, quieter, and the road also can be used easily for any purposes. So that's with the road. Correct. సార్, సో ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అయితే లాఫ్ట్ ఉంది ఆ రోడ్లో, దాని ఆపోజిట్ సైడ్ వచ్చేసి పెసిఫికా వాళ్ళ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంది, వాట్ ఈస్ ఆల్రెడీ హ్యాండ్ ఓవర్, అండ్ న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్ దే ఆర్ బిల్డింగ్, రైట్, విచ్ ఇస్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ అది కూడా ఒక 30-40% అండర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఉంది. దాని తర్వాత దాని పక్కన ఈ మైస్కేప్ వాళ్ళు ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ లాంచ్ చేస్తుండ్రు, ఒక 7-8 acres. I have heard part of that is 1 acre they are planning to do like F&B space and screens. I've heard it. I don't know adi inka plan on unda ledha ani, but mostly I think it should be. So ippatikaithe ee developments unnai sir. So down the line I think more and more, because there's good amount of land availability there, so eventually landowners might give it out for developments for various asset classes or various builders. But it will that area would be developed. It will look like a downtown. Okay, sir, regarding yeah, please go on. Yeah, go on. Sorry, regarding what? Okay, got it. Okay, so firstly regarding density, Andy, density is high, but so are the entire facilities and amenities, right? If you look in Loft, meeku almost all 55,000 square feet exclusive clubhouse vastundi, and underneath the towers at the podium level we are giving another close to around 30,000 to 40,000 square feet of again amenities and utility spaces like supermarkets, co-working spaces and all. So we are a believer that as density goes up, you need to plan better and give better amenities so that it will work. And another thing with regarding to density, sir, like for example Spire project తీసుకుంటాం, one what we are handing over. ఇప్పుడు అందులో ఇప్పుడు మీకు there is no bank, because ఏమైపోతుందంటే when the density is low, these third party service providers are not coming. Like the ICICI Bank, what we are giving in Loft, they need a minimum of 900 to 1000 units to operate their facility viably. Same thing happens with a crush, right? Same thing happens with any third party. ఇప్పుడు మంచి సూపర్ మార్కెట్ మంచి వెండర్ని తెద్దామంటే. So I feel high density requires better planning, so that the consumers higher density technically doesn't impact their day-to-day living, rather it enhances. If you even look at the number of lifts what we are providing, we are providing the best ratio in this entire financial district, where most of our competitors are for I think the ratio is more like 60 to 70 flats per lift, we are doing 45 flats, right? So there are 10 flats per floor and we are providing 10 lifts plus a service lift. So you need to density పెరగడం తోని there are better advantages, sir, but yes, you need to plan better, right? So that is the aspect of density. Regarding the prices, it's a speculative thing. I wouldn't want to say it in this discussion because it's speculative. Today I say something, it might be higher than what I say, or it might be exactly where what I'm saying. So, but one thing I'll definitely say is, we as a company are aggressively investing in this area. Probably this year we are planning to even do one more launch. At least for the next 5 to 7 years, every year we want to launch a project in this area. So that much I can say. So we are very bullish on this area. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Firstly, thank you, sir. Thank you for all the kind words and considering us. Sir, ఈ ఇయర్ ఎండ్కి ఒక లాంచ్ ఉందండి, ప్రాబ్లీ లాస్ట్ క్వార్టర్, అగైన్ విదిన్ ద సేమ్ విసినిటీ, లాఫ్ట్ నుంచి ఒక 200 మీటర్స్ జోన్లో. సో అందులో సైజెస్ వచ్చి 2400 3 BHK అండ్ 2800 4 BHK ఈ మాడ్యూల్స్తో వస్తున్నాము. So that would be launched in the last quarter of this year. Currently approval works are going on. Actually, yeah. Kukatpalli kuda we are planning, sir. Kukatpalli we are doing a planning for a launch in mana May lo, inkoka 3 months lo. So that's around 700 650 apartments, and financial district ku vacheshi year end. Cheppandi sir. Yeah. Sir, you are there in our lead system, right? అవును. మీకు వాట్సాప్లో అప్డేట్స్ వస్తున్నాయా సార్? ఓకే, ఐ విల్ డూ వన్ థింగ్. మీరు ఈ వెబినార్కి రిజిస్టర్ అయిందంటే దెన్ మీ మొబైల్ నెంబర్ ఐ థింక్ అవర్ సిస్టమ్ వుడ్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ఆర్ యువర్ ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి. సో వెన్ వీ we'll shoot out all this information to our prospective customers and leads within our database. So అంటే ఓన్లీ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెరాయి కాంప్లైన్స్ ఉంది కాబట్టి సార్, am I audible, sir? Great. Sir, am I audible now? Yeah. సో మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఈ వెబినార్కి రిజిస్టర్ అయిందంటే మీ డేటా మీరు మీ ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి యూ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ గివెన్, రైట్ సార్? Then we'll shoot this information to all email IDs and all mobile numbers in our database. So once we have RERA out, we will be posting this, sir. So that would be in Kukatpalli in the month of May. ఇప్పుడు only after receiving RERA only, sir, because compliance also has gone up, and as a brand we are also ఇప్పుడు multiple projects handle చేస్తున్నాం కదా. సో compliance నుంచి there is a strict no on doing any business before getting RERA. But however, after receiving the approvals, we do take EOIs, expression of interest తీసుకుంటాము, but any collection of money, any of that would be done post getting RERA only. So the minute we get approvals, we'll reach out to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And our team, generally my friends and our customers say it's very difficult to miss our ads. So we once we launch, we'll make sure that you see us, sir. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please go on. Mm-hmm. Firstly, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words and showing your interest in our project. సో మీరు జియోగ్రఫిక్గా చూస్తే మ్యామ్ ఇప్పుడు నియోపోలిస్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఓన్లీ హౌసింగ్ వస్తుంది. దెర్ ఇస్ నో కమర్షియల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ వాట్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ దేర్, రైట్? అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ అ ల్యాండ్ ఓనర్ వాంట్స్ టు, ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ అ బిల్డర్ వాంట్స్ టు డెవలప్ ఇట్, వీఆర్ లుకింగ్ at somewhere in the 10-year horizon, or that might happen, might not happen. Whereas when you come to the financial district, already meeku n number of companies have built their offices or leased their offices, and there is a captive usage of commercial space. So that way I feel Neopolis will always lag financial district. Financial district is a more prime market, then it would be Neopolis. That's our viewpoint, because naturally Neopolis is 10 minutes away from this office spaces, whereas financial district you are right in the middle of it. So from a statistical and data standpoint, this area will be more prime, then would be Neopolis. Thank you. Yes అండి, యా డెఫినెట్గా. అది మేము ఆల్రెడీ అప్రూవల్ స్టేజెస్లో ఉన్నాం మ్యామ్. యా ప్లీజ్ గోన్. ఎస్ సేమ్ అమ్యూనిటీస్ ఉంటాయి మ్యామ్. అండ్ గివెన్ దట్ ఇట్స్ 3.5 and 4 BHK మాడ్యూల్, సమ్ మోర్ అమ్యూనిటీస్ ఆల్సో. ఏమవుతుందంటే మ్యామ్, అమ్యూనిటీస్తో కూడా ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ యాజ్ వీ లాంచ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ మోర్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్. నెక్స్ట్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్లో వీఆర్ ఇంప్రూవింగ్. సో 100% సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. I would say 80% it will have better amenities kuda. Naturally, we need to differentiate project to project kabatti. Yeah. But it's in the vicinity. Yeah, it's in the vicinity, around 200 meters away from Loft. Andulo 5 towers, ma'am. Thank you. Hi sir, hi Sini garu. ఇది మెయింటెనెన్స్ అంటున్నారా సార్? గాట్ ఇట్. కరెక్ట్. Sir, so regarding the maintenance, sir, if you currently if you look at Spire, what we have, it's in the handover phase. So there we have recruited, we are working with CBRE, right? They do the facility maintenance of most of they're the market leaders in that domain area. And even within our company also, we are developing a parallelly competent team, so that we are bringing in people from hotel management, like our current lifestyle manager, what we call. He has 6 years of experience in the Park Hotel, a 5-star hotel in the city, and then he worked 7 years in Saudi Arabia la Neom City anoti famous undi. Ipdi line project ivanni is part of that. He worked 7 years there. So what we are realizing is people from hospitality backgrounds have a much better value addition to do in when it comes to facility maintenance. In fact, our vision is not even to call it facility maintenance, but call it lifestyle management. It's not just the facilities what we will be maintaining, but even the community, even the social aspects, the social fabric of a community is what we want to manage, like celebrating festivals, kanivandi, or any picnics, right? Proactively, engaging with the residents to, facilitate in this entire livability and, the joy of living aspect mida. So we are continuously working and innovating on that, sir. And probably in the next 1 year, we'll have more live data from Spire. So which we would be sharing out with our entire community, and then we can have a much better debate on that. But yeah, going forward, చెప్పండి. Correct. Correct. Agreed. Sir, actually I am also seeing that in other projects. See, one is, but as a developer, our stand is very clear. We built the project, we will know everything about it. We want to maintain for the entire life. The building will stand for 70 years. I want our company to operate the entire 70 years so that we will know it better and we'll get a lot more feedback also. But only in the law, as per law, it's the RWA has to choose us. So we will work proactively with the RWA to keep the contract. But కొన్నిసార్లు ఏంటంటే RWA depends on their finickiness, sir. I don't know. Because another thing also I'll say, sir, as a developer, we have a professional team managing this. Right? There's a team of mechanical engineers, plumbing, electrical guys. So they understand the sophistication. RWS కి ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత ప్రాబ్లం ఏమైపోద్దంటే they do, it's more like a side gig for them, right? Which takes only time from them, doesn't give back anything. And they will naturally lack the subject matter expertise. And I've seen them వాళ్ళు ఏ వర్క్ చేసినా they typically go for the L1 bidder. There's a saying, right? You pay peanuts, you get monkeys, right? Right. So most of those people come and spoil the facilities. Yeah. So I hope, because my intention is very clear. We want to maintain it for perpetuity. And because idendan sir maaku pedda revenue, it's not a revenue or a money generation business. It is a way where we can stay closer to our customers, get more feedback and learn a lot more things. So that's the vision of the company going forward. We want to do it. Correct. Ante kada sir, let's say you bought a Apple product or any a Dell laptop మీరు చూస్తే when Dell was at its peak, it was mainly because of the customers the post sale services. Right? So I think the post handover service is something which is very important for any company to focus on in this field. Correct. అవును. అండ్ ఇంకోటి కూడా ఏంటంటే సార్, ప్రాపర్టీని కరెక్ట్గా మేనేజ్ చేయకపోతే మీకు దాని వాల్యూ పడిపోద్ది. సో కన్స్యూమర్స్కి ఆల్సో అదే ఐ థింక్ మేము ఉంటేనే బెటర్. Because let's say, sometimes it might mean paying a 50 paise or a 1 rupee more per SFT on the maintenance, but it adds huge value. So we will be there and we would be, educating and working, hand in glove with the customer. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Chappan sir, yeah. Yes. Hi, sir. So, two things, sir. Yeah. First, from where I was seeing the feedback, the first set of handovers when we called, so first time it's called inspection. And then after the consumer raises the points, we solve out the points. and then we call them for a reinspection. I think in Loft we could have done the reinspection process much faster and better. So we add our learnings from the first 100 flats, and if we use the next couple of 100 flats, we are doing the reinspection process much faster because the system wasn't set up. So that is I would say the most major thing. And second thing is, a lot of this data which was coming out, right, that was an Excel system. Going forward to our next project in Springs, we are digitizing this entire thing. So even this data also comes into our mainframe app, and then so it's much better visibility, and the ticketing, it's digitized, right, the processes, so it can be made much faster. And next thing I'm seeing is after handover ayin tarvata, customer is taking around, they're doing the entire fit out process, right? So akkada they are needing some assistance or guidance from us regarding can we do X change or Y change or Z change. So this is one area where again I feel we need to set up a dedicated help desk who understands the engineering aspect of it. So these I would say are the main learning lessons for me. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely, sir. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, sir, for your feedback. But I would like to add one point. Definitely, I think there are areas for us to improve. But dampness vachinappudu emayipoddante, sir, it's a very long process. It takes us at least anywhere from 1 week to 4 to 5 weeks to identify the source. So మీకు dampness ఎట్లా అంటే మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే ఏ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద వాల్ ఆర్ సీలింగ్ చూస్తారో it doesn't mean water is coming in from there. It can come from an extreme, total opposite corner of the flat. Right? So దాన్ని ఎత్కనికే టైం పడుతుంది. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ మీరు స్పైర్లో చూస్తే వేర్ వీఆర్ కాన్స్టెంట్లీ రిలీజింగ్ ద ఎంటైర్ లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్పెక్షన్ ఫ్లాట్స్, రైట్? అందులో సమ్ ఫ్లాట్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ మిస్సింగ్ ఎసెన్షియలీ హ్యావ్ ఇష్యూస్ లైక్ మెటీరియల్ థెఫ్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఏది మీ ప్లంబింగ్ థెఫ్ట్ అవుతుంది, కొన్ని దాంట్లో డాంప్నెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో వీ ట్రై టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద సోర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. సో అందుకు కొద్దిగా ఎక్కువ టైం పడుతుంది విత్ డాంప్నెస్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ విత్ టైల్ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అంటారా, సో జనరలీ ఏమైపోద్దండి సార్, ఒక ఫ్లాట్లో టైల్ బ్రేక్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ద వే ద కాంట్రాక్టర్ వర్క్స్ ఒకటేసారి ఒక 10 ఫ్లాట్స్ ఉంటే ఒకటేసారి లేబర్ని పంపించి చేపించేస్తారు. బట్ దో ఐ థింక్ దట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి టేకెన్ యాజ్ అన్ ఎక్స్క్యూజ్. బట్ అదేలేండి, విత్ డాంప్నెస్ ఐ థింక్ వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద రూట్ కాజ్. బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ సార్, ఐ విల్ టేక్ దిస్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్. అండ్ in fact in Spectra we have even changed the entire mix design, Spectra and Loft also. So we are putting glass reinforced fibers in the concrete. In fact we are the only guys now doing that in the entire city. So meeku emayipoddante, see, concrete is a exothermic reaction, right? After you cast, మీరు ఎంత క్యూరింగ్ చేసినా మైక్రో నానో ఫిషర్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట లోపల. సో అట్లాంటి ఏరియా నుంచి వాటర్ వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద సోర్స్ ఎక్కడ. ఐ గెట్ ఎ పాయింట్ సార్. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ వాట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఇన్ టు ఫ్యూచర్. సో బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ గ్లాస్ ఫైబర్స్ దే గో అండ్ పెనిట్రేట్ దట్ నానో sort of fissures which develop, and it will completely cover up. So probably we can arrest dampness by 99%. In fact, in Spire, so far in all the handovers we got, I think Post handover, I think we've got 2 or 3 flats which have got dampness. But at a holistic scale of 393, we have got around 12 flats totally. So the ratio is still, very better, but the idea is to, bring it down to the lesser the better. But yeah, definitely we'll work on providing a better experience. Got it. Got it. I'm sorry for that, sir. So I'll exactly, ask them to, I'll find out this issue and I'll ask them to tell the exact time. And akkada inko problem kuda emaipodante, let's say we cure the dampness. And then we wait for 4 to 5 days to see if it's coming out elsewhere or it's totally arrested. Let's say 4 to 5 days lo malla adi ostundi anukondi akkada. Then malla extension ki veltadi. The dampness nature sir adi. But definitely, no, it should be, sir, 99% it should be addressed, sir. So, like me, you can be rest assured, 99 means it's actual 99. So, it's not going to come back. Why I'm not saying 100 is because the nature of dampness is like that. And for example, మీకు చెప్తా ఇప్పుడు మీ పైన ఫ్లాట్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు చూడండి, మేము ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే టైల్స్ వేసిన తర్వాత మొత్తం వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎపాక్సీ గ్రౌట్. రైట్, అగైన్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద వెరీ ఫ్యూ ప్లేయర్స్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్, ఇట్ కాస్ట్ అస్ మోర్, బట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ బికాస్ అదేంటంటే ఇంకా టైల్ మీద ఒక కెమికల్ షీట్ లాగా యాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ అలౌ వాటర్ టు పెనిట్రేట్. బట్ అట్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ఫిట్ అవుట్ అప్పుడు because they are doing entire furniture work, cardboard cutting and all of this thing, it will slowly chip off the grout. సో దానివల్ల ఏమైనా ఆరిజినేట్ అయితే కావచ్చు. అండ్ అది మేము ఫిట్అవుట్ గైడ్లైన్లో కూడా రాసినాము that please be very wary with this, and after your interior work is done, lay one more layer of epoxy grout so that it won't disturb your neighbor beneath any. So that's why I'm saying 99 and not 100. Yeah, but I'm sorry for this issue, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Lease. అవును సార్. Makes sense. Thank you for this question, sir. So I'll address one by one. So first thing regarding rental facilitation, yes sir, we do. In fact, Spirelo, we have tied up with three rental service providers. We have done certain level of due diligence on them, right? And then we are sharing we are connecting them and our customers, and they will even be assisting you on what is the rental you can expect depending on a bare shell, semi-furnished and fully furnished. And I think one of the vendor even can can provide designs and do that furnishing also. So rental facilitation we will be providing with all the documentations కూడా, అంటే rental agreement ఏంటిది, దాని తర్వాత KYC ఏం తీసుకోవాలి, like how do you make sure your tenant is tenant due diligence, all of that we will be providing the facilitation, and all the leads would be shared with you. You can talk with them and you can decide on the rental. So that is regarding rental facilitation. What was the other question which you asked, sir? Regarding Spectra. Yeah, Spectra bank and ATM is not possible, sir, because it was not planned for, and we couldn't find that additional space when we were designing. So bank is not possible. Regarding the entire entry gate and all, it is being redesigned, sir, so we got good feedback from the Loft designs, and we have asked the same consultant to redesign the entire Spectra landscape. So probably at a time once the design is done, I'll be sharing that with you, sir. It will be, I can assure you, it would be on par with Loft. Right? Thank you. Sorry. So inspection, that's a good suggestion, sir. So one thing what we are doing is inspection timeline and even what to inspect. In Spectra we released the same checklist which our teams will be using. It has got total 264 checkpoints, and it will very thoroughly guide the customer in what to check, every aspect of it. So we'll be sharing that checklist. Regarding the timeline, I think it's a good suggestion, sir. We'll keep it in mind, and as we move closer to handover, we'll come up, let's look at some solutions on how to address this in a better manner. Typically, if you look what we are doing in Spire is, monthly we are handing over sort of a 1/3 flats. Akada Spire we did 130, 100 and another 100 sort of flats. So Spectra also we would be doing like something like, given it's 1200 flats, something like 300 flats batches కింద చేస్తాము. So it will run like a 3 to 4 month period కాబట్టి మీకు ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు mostly. But I'll take this feedback. We'll try to design a better system as we move to the handover. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, sir. Your voice is very frail. Yes. Now it's better. Correct. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, so the first one regarding the villa development, We are not looking into that asset class, sir, because I feel it's something outside our domain expertise, especially from a product design standpoint. So something which we are not looking as of now. But definitely, if you want some suggestions in that, you can send me an email, ceo@asbl.in. So I'll reply on that. So I can suggest a few other projects which are doing good depending on your requirements. That I can do. But we as a brand are not going into that asset class. And regarding the availability of information, sir, if you're logged on to this system, I mean in the sense that now you have attended this webinar, so your email ID will be there with us. So typically after getting approval, we shoot out an email to all the existing customer and lead base regarding the first offer, the EOI offer, so that the best price can be obtained. So now that you are in our ecosystem through while registering for this webinar, you will be getting that mail and message whenever we shoot it, sir. And that time we will be giving the best price to our existing base of customers and leads. Hopefully I answered all your questions, sir. Did I miss out? So regarding the new regarding the new government, sir, see we have to wait and watch out for 6 months to see what is their policy direction. See, because real estate in short term is significantly linked to government policy, like which direction of the city they want to invest in, what is their plan regarding this entire transportation infrastructure, right? Like flyovers, roadways, and metros. So we are also just the new government has just come couple of months back, so they're just settling in. Probably in a couple of months' time, post general election, the direction should be made reasonably clear, right? But irrespective of that, our thought process as a brand has been continue to do investments in the city center localities. So we are currently, at least for the next couple of years, we do not want to pick any land parcels in the suburban locations. So in Pupalguda is something which is a city center. There is a robust demand both from end user perspective and from a long-term investment perspective. So we want to continue to invest. Like to give you a perspective, the project what we are launching in the year end will be the biggest investment what we have done so far. It will be close to the tune of 750 crores. So we continue to remain bullish on this area because of all the existing infrastructure which is already set up and under use. Yeah, but I think regarding suburban locations, we also want to wait and see what is the government's policy and direction. Hopefully I answered your question, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think few customers have mentioned it on the chat. Mr. Sajid Basha, hi, with recent political governance in Telangana, what it means to real estate, which started with earlier government, and do we see any risk? Same, sir. See, I don't see there is any risk from a city level perspective, because Hyderabad inherently has its advantages, like the entire commercial infrastructure which is already created, like all the IT offices and the ecosystem. There are a lot of IT offices which already set up shop, right? Like Google is building their, I think world's second biggest, their R&D center in Hyderabad. The construction is also 20% completed in the financial district. So that way, and even there's a good availability of engineering talent and all. So Hyderabad will continue to grow, right? However, regarding which direction of the city might do better and all of that sort of thing, we'll have to wait out for government policy, right? This will mainly impact the suburban areas. Regarding the city center, it really doesn't matter. right? From a long-term and a mid-term and a end-user perspective. If somebody is looking from a short-term perspective, right? By short-term, what I mean is 6 to 9 months, right? If somebody is looking from a 6 to 9 month perspective, then there will be, there would be some volatility expected. So it depends on what is your horizon, and one should treat real estate as a fairly mid-term and long-term investment. Matlab one at least should look at like a 2 to 5 year period. What has happened in the last 3 years is more of an anomaly, where things have changed more in every matter of 6 months and things like that. But real estate should be fairly seen from a 2 to 5 year period. It's such an asset class, right? And next, anonymous. As we have an Amazon hub kiosk where all deliverables can be in a locker. Okay, can we have an Amazon? Definitely, sir. I'll look at what the solution is and probably explore it. Next question from the same person. Also, what is the NRI support? We see a lot of banking forms to fill through HDFC. Anything planned to ease out the steps? Thank you for the feedback, sir. Yeah, this is something which I wanted to hear out and listen. So we are working out with HDFC, and when it comes to United States, we have worked with them an exclusive offer where they remove the entire notary and all those sort of things, which is very painful and cumbersome. And this was implemented recently. So probably the people who bought in the last 1 month, for them this policy would be implemented. So for people staying in the United States and working with HDFC Bank on our projects, the notary and all of that, you don't need to get it done from the embassy. You can just get it done at a local bank. So that was one major thing, improvisation. But any further more pay, and another thing value add also what we started doing regarding the entire delivery and courier charges, that also we started reimbursing the customer. So that also one minor value addition we will do. On top of this, anything specific, sir, please send me an email, because this is an area where we are actively working on. I want your feedback to make it better. And meanwhile, we are even planning to develop a digital repository where customers can put all the bank required documents there, and the banker can directly see it from there, rather than asking in 100 steps, one after one document. So the consumer can know upfront what are the set of documents. But anything specific, please put it out at CEO@asbl.in. It would help us in making this process more seamless and more smooth. Right. So next question is, we see a lot of, okay, I've addressed this. Next from Mr. Satya. Great to see the amenities for younger working class and children. Are you taking any considerations of senior living, citizen living, emergency calling, accessibility, etc.? Yes, sir. We are regarding to the senior citizens. Whenever we do the tie-up with the hospital, they would be even placing an ambulance on facility. Right? People can use it on the call. And second thing, in our facility app, we are giving a medical emergency button, which people can tap, and directly it will send a signal to the healthcare service provider whom we are tying up with. So we are trying to tackle it in both these aspects. One is, there will be an ambulance on facility, and there is an SOS in our app, so people can press it and get the services immediately. So these two we are doing as of now. But any ideas you have, please send to CEO@asbl.in. So it will help us. Right? Thank you. Anything else? Yeah. Done? All right. I get a thing that my team is telling the questions are done. So thank you so much for patiently hearing me out, and it was great interacting with you all. Thank you. Namaste.